I think it's not going to be on Writing is Dangerous. I think it's just going to be on my YouTube. That's okay. I can put it on Writing is Dangerous. I think it's not going to be on Writing is Dangerous. Oh, here we go again on my YouTube. That's okay. I can put it on Writing is Dangerous. I think. So we're live. Go again on my. And
Looks like you're live.
I'm live. Okay, this is what I did last time. So we're live. Okay, so I have muted my YouTube screen. Why don't I have you? Let me see. Why don't I have you on my YouTube screen? Any idea?
Nope.
One of these days I'm gonna figure this out, I swear. Okay, so oh, now you're on there. So what is my
So I'm watching live on YouTube and it's still just you.
but you'll pop up on there now that you talked.
Testing one, testing two. Yeah, it looks like it's your webcam that you're live streaming from, not Zoom.
Oh. Oh, okay.
And if you get on your phone, you can go to YouTube and you can see what's streaming live. That's what I do is I have my phone up to the right. I mean, I didn't do it last week or I would have said something.
That's a pretty smart idea. There we go.
It says this meeting is being live streamed. Like I said, I'm watching the feed.
Yep. Well, and it's stuck right there, but why don't I have both of us? Oh, well, do I now? Studio display camera. Blur, I don't want to do that. Video settings. I mean, I haven't made any changes to the settings, so why? Okay, now we're both up there. Oh, we're not both on here. Oh, there you are. So why don't we
Test, test, test.
test? Let's see what's happening on here. Oh, there.
I'll just talk for a minute and see if it switches over. I want to say that when you get it to stream the Zoom,
So why don't we?
though, it won't just be your screen. Like it's not going to full screen us. It's going to show
Right.
this Zoom window.
Yeah, but
Talk for a minute and
it's
see.
there you go.
I'll say that when you get it to
So it's cutting back and forth between us, but it doesn't have both of us at the same time.
Interesting. Yeah, when I watch the stream on my end, I'm just seeing you.
See, you didn't.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but
Huh. Maybe it's on a delay or something.
I see you now live. Well, you were. Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I am on a delay.
Okay. Wanna
Let's see. Episode 4. Testing 1, 2. Oh, it says it's just 4 minutes.
Oh, that was me before.
Ah, here we go. Okay, I found it.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yep,
Okay.
you're good now.
Okay, so we're both up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you want to hit play? My favorite thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now recording.
When you said it was dangerous, I just thought that it is dangerous, and it's stupid.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Do you think it's a little dangerous?
I mean, I hope it isn't dangerous.
My writing is involuntary, like the beating of my heart. Writing is a journey into the unknown.
You're coming dangerously close.
Anyway, don't you think it's dangerous to rely too much on...
You think it's dangerous?
You think it's dangerous?
Writing is dangerous.
A very powerful psychedelic and a little dangerous.
I will never, ever get tired of that. I will absolutely never get tired of that. I just think it's the greatest opening clip I've ever seen in my life. You did such a bang-up job. Ladies
Well, I'll
and
never get sick of hearing you say that.
well, good, because that's just going to be us just backing and forth and every damn time it comes up because it cracks me up every time. And it's so well constructed and it's got so many great little sound bites in it and the visuals. So, hey, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 4 of Writing is Dangerous with Johnny Neill, co-hosted by the great Kyle Scott.
Hello, hello.
Let me tell you, everybody, this is the man to know. This is the man to know. Multi-talented, hard-working, goddamn sodbuster is what he is. He just rips the world open and plants something in it, and it grows. Kyle and I screwed up last week. You might have gathered if you saw me staring blankly in the very first episode. I am not the most technical person, and I promise that over the next couple of weeks, I'm really going to get proficient at this. But I've been a little bit distracted on the project that we sort of talked about last week. I have a movie that I'm in the earliest of pre-production on for a Q1 2027 shoot in Thailand. So that's next year. That's right, baby. That's our pitch deck. It's all like I can't really tell any details on it now, except that we're going to shoot in Q1 2027, and so I will be a filmmaker at some point here. I won't just be a screenwriter who's trying to get words out. And Kyle came through for me over the weekend with a hardcore 26 hours from Friday to Sunday you put in, right? Because you started
Friday evening after work, or I think when the kids went down, so like maybe like 9 p.m. And then just hammered through all weekend.
26 hours by Sunday night, right? That was when the meter stopped. So I put in that much as well.
You probably put in more.
I probably put in more. It was a lot. It was a lot of writing. Well, okay, per Grammarly, and I'm only telling you this not to complain about my life. I'm telling you this as this is what it takes. Per Grammarly, I wrote 44,500 words from November 3rd to November 9th. And that was so that included what we wrote on here, but which that wasn't a whole lot of actual word count. I wrote my profile for my feature. I wrote my heart chart, all of my character questions for the most of the characters, and I wrote my roadmap. And then I reduced all that down to a very little text on a 20-page document. What was that? Like 5 outline pages that it came to create of text, not to mention the listing of the photos that we used.
Well, and I did a new draft every time you sent me updates, and I think we got up to draft 8 before the final. Yeah,
that's right.
So that's drafts you did plus drafts I did, and I think I only had like 2 or 3, and the rest were you.
Yeah, and it's funny how I'm a hard copy dude, like just when I thought I had it all put together and then I printed it, it was like, oh no, these pages are not in the right order. I have to It was like
Well,
a
that's
total
important.
conflict.
Like you gotta give yourself the time to look at it from a different point of view because when you're just hammering away at it and it's all in your head, you think you got it figured out, but there's always more work you can do. It's like, I mean, if it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done.
That's true.
Because I mean, we could probably go back at it again this next week and read through the whole thing. And, it may only be 10% different, but going through the same process, we could find little things to tweak or although I really like where it landed.
Oh,
I
me
think we got
too.
a great little document.
Well, and even rearranging those pages, there wasn't a lot to change on the pages. It was just a matter of, oh, this made so much more sense in my head putting it down. And then when you actually created the pages and your visuals making the words really carry so much more weight made me realize how, oh, they'll carry the right weight if I put them in the right position. Um, all of this is sounding probably very abstract to our listeners, but believe me, when you're working on something, you'll understand. It is like, oh, I see what they meant when they were saying that because I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I had it worked out.
Well,
And
I imagine after this thing gets moving down the road, we could probably share this document as a part of this class, like, how we put that together.
yeah, definitely. Most definitely. I'm real happy. Anyway, what we did was we created a pitch deck for my producer to present to financiers and investors. And there's no real formula for a pitch deck, except say what you want about your movie in such a way that you'll interest other people in your movie. What I learned was that a pitch deck is just an expansion of your log line. You still don't want to go too far. You don't want to, you still just want to say, these are my characters, this is my situation, and this is my jeopardy. This is the,
Hmm.
you don't want to get into how the plot is resolved. You don't want to get too much into their backstories. You just want it to be, and these are the people that you can use the shorthand of choosing actors that you want for those parts and putting them in your pitch deck.
Hmm.
And that's
We
kind
got
of a short.
Brando in there. We got Steve McQueen.
We got Robert Mitchum.
Yeah.
We got Robert Mitchum smack on the front.
Hmm.
I wonder if he's
No, I
available.
think it's also it paints the picture of the world, like without doing too much cinematography, there's a lot of photography that you included in there, and it's like the style of the photos, obviously the subject matter, like everything just kind of gives potential investor an idea of like, okay, this is what the movie's going to be like.
And I hope that it gives them an idea of, oh, this is who this guy is telling this story.
Hmm.
Like those are the kind of movies he likes based on the people that I had chosen as possibilities for characters. And then just the photo styles and I feel like I put my best foot forward very much thanks to you. That that's
Nice.
a big deal. Like I feel like we did the best we possibly could, and we did a
I
great
had
job.
to your point just then about like, the types of actors and stuff. I had a friend over Saturday night for a little backyard movie night. And I obviously didn't show him the pitch deck, but I was working on it. And every now and then he'd go because I was popping in all the movie posters for the different actors. And he'd peek over and he'd be like, "Hey, I love that guy. Hey, look at that guy. I know that guy." Yeah, I think the kind of people you picked out to kind of paint the picture of your different characters were great. Like, if you're a TV and film fan, you definitely know these people, and it's not the Tom Cruises and the Chris Pratt. Like, yeah, no
Right?
Chris's in the document. So
Not a single
a
one.
hat tip for that.
Yeah, that's true. Like I everybody that I chose for to represent the parts were like, the actual age of the characters, which is something I always try to aim for, and nobody seemed ungettable. They
Hmm.
all like to work. All of those actors like working. They're not afraid of putting in the
This is
time.
a little aside. Have you seen the trailer for that new Timothy Chalamet ping pong movie?
I have, and I'm like,
Are they trying to insinuate that he's in like a relationship with Gwyneth Paltrow? I was like, is she a prostitute? Did they just have sex? What is this scene?
I don't think I even saw her in the trailer I saw. Wow, so they've
Oh
updated.
man, go back. Yeah, the first scene is like her by the dresser putting her earrings on and him in the bed, like I'm a bad boy or whatever he's saying. I'm like, dude, you're about 2 weeks away from a milk mustache. Like, what is she your mom? Like, what's going I mean, nothing against she's a beautiful lady. Like, I hate, but it's kind of that thing of, are we supposed to believe they're the same age in
Oh
this?
yeah, there's a gap going on there. That's a
And I don't know the
generation.
story. Maybe I'll watch it and it'll make a lot more sense.
Well, she's got to be in her 40s, easy, right? I
But
mean,
it's just very he looks so young, I think is
he
it.
does
It's not
still
that
look
she looks
so
old. It's
young.
like he look they put facial hair on him and he's, swearing, but still it's like you're a tiny little dude, man.
Yeah, he looks like a little bird,
Yeah.
like yeah. So, let me get this. Okay, so where do is view share screen? Nope. Where is share? Is it down here? Participants, video, audio. Yeah, okay.
Share screen, I think it's right in the middle. You got to hover your cursor down there and it'll pop up the button.
Oh, share. There it is. Oh, oh, you know what? I'm gonna cancel that and get my screen a little more ready. Sorry, vamp for me a little bit there if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah,
Let me
Timothy
get the hard
Chalamet,
card up.
he's a little boy with an old prostitute. No, I'm kidding.
Good old Timmy.
hmm What's interesting about that movie, I don't know if you heard, but I think it's the acting debut of Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, who is one of those guys that like you look at him and you're like, yeah, he looks like a millionaire from the 1920s or whatever this is from, because I mean he is a millionaire now, but he's got such a great look. And obviously he holds his own on a reality TV show. But I think, if somebody really got him, if they knew how to direct him, he would be a great character actor.
I haven't watched that show in forever, so
He's Mr. Wonderful. He's the guy who, when
um,
nobody else wants to buy it, he's like, I'll buy it if you let me screw you.
right, yeah.
I want 90% of the company and you got to pay me $5 per unit. They
is
only
is he
cost
like
four.
little? Is he kind of little and old?
Um,
Or is he what shark is
hmm.
he?
He's
Well,
usually sitting in the middle, and I mean, I know him because he's a watch guy, so he like
ah,
posts lots of
okay.
watch content on YouTube. But if you look, he's the one with the red bands. He's always got red on his watch. So, and what's kind of cool is recently in the recent seasons, he started wearing two watches. One is like obviously one of his baller watches, but then he's got a bunch of Seikos, he's got some like Tissot, but he's got like attainable watches that he started
Yeah.
wearing. So it's like, yes, here is the, $80,000, piece unique from Along and whatever. And then, but here's also something that you could, probably afford a sub $10,000, in some instances, sub $1,000 watch.
That's do you think he's getting paid for that?
I
Like,
feel pretty confident he's not because his whole rationale behind it, like he has a pretty good reason. It's he wants to like encourage entrepreneurs, but he also knows that, a lot of people can't afford the watches he's wearing on there. So,
sure.
and it's different brands. So I doubt all the brands are, endorsing him. And it's such a small thing, It's not like in Wolf of Wall Street where there's a scene where Jordan Belfort goes, I show up in a $2,000 suit with a $40,000 wristwatch. And he tosses a gold Tag Heuer. But if it was real, he'd say a $40,000 Rolex and he'd toss it. But Leonardo DiCaprio is a Tag Heuer ambassador. So people don't have to know that the only solid gold Tag Heuer was a gold-plated Tag Heuer that cost about $2,000, not $40,000. But movies.
Yeah. Something I learned at that panel that I went to about independent movies was that if you plug an item in your movie, like, and it's clear that you're intentionally plugging this item, um,
Mhm.
they won't release it in France. It's like, no,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Do you
that
do you
was,
know the thing about the Apple TV series? This is like a straight up spoiler. They for all of the series that are on Apple TV, the villains can never use Apple products.
oh, that's so,
So if you ever want to know who the bad guy is, it's whoever is using an Android or you don't see with an iPhone.
it's
Like
the guy
so
with a
much
flip phone.
so that the character on Mythic Quest she's kind of a bitch. She works in the office.
Yeah,
She's like a little swarmy, office assistant.
yeah.
When they did their webcam episode of Mythic Quest, she has her hair down so you can't see the AirPods in her ears.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it's because they said, oh, she's a despicable character. You can't show her using our product.
Well, that's a strange development to their product placement on their own network.
Right.
Because when
Well,
Apple
the good
TV
guys
first
have
started,
iPhones.
when Apple TV first started, it was like every single person was always holding an iPhone or a brand new notebook. It was like everything in there felt like it was all just so crisp and new and shiny and milled out of aluminum, like
Hmm.
every prop was somehow Apple related. It's like, excuse me, honey. Oh, pardon me. Let me take out my earbud so I can
Hmm.
hear you. And it
I
was
just have to
like,
take a quick FaceTime call. Let me log into my iCloud.
and yeah, nobody just called somebody. Everybody was FaceTiming. There was a logo in the corner.
Hmm.
It kind of dialed back from that, but man, that first couple of years was like, geez, dude, I get it. But it was like a Wonder Bread. Let's all eat sandwiches in the middle of the show. Okay, so everybody out there, now that I've kind of found where what I was looking for, um, I let me look on my phone to make sure that I found what I'm looking for. Um, Last week I really messed up and did not have this setting going correctly, and I ended up just recording myself, kind of looking at where Kyle is on the screen, but I did not record him and I did not record the screen. And I'm still not sure exactly how that happened. Um, so, oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Um, So we went through the signposts that we had done the week before, and we created the heart chart. It was a little anticlimactic, to tell you the truth. I'm not familiar enough with this actual set or step of the heart chart, but it got the job done. Starting at 0, we have Joel and Troy in Fayetteville getting ready to go to work, and then the action goes. They're driving to Missouri to cover the total eclipse, and then they cover the total eclipse, which is the high point. But then Joel's watch stops working, so they head back to, and what is their very visible, tangible goal? To do a great news story. So they head back, and while they're heading back from Missouri to Arkansas, Joel edits a really great news story. It's a huge hit. Uh, it's been picked up during the whole region. So Act One ends with a pretty terrific. Everything's going great. Um, then they have a happy hour, and we meet Joel's girlfriend Lola, and that's what we're going to work on tonight. No, that's not what we're going to write tonight. We're going to write the opening scene. But I'm really looking forward to writing that happy hour scene because that's going to be such
Hmm.
a departure from the short story. That's going to be a big. We got a flashback aimed in there, and we got a couple of things going on. So then the weirdness sets in, and that Joel's watch starts sending him signals. Um, uh, they start kind of innocuous, and then he gets a news story. They get assigned a news story. So Joel's watch starts sending him signals, but it in text on his screen. Um, but the first one's not there. It's not really telling him to do anything except notice that his girlfriend's shirt has slipped up and she's exposed laying in the bed first thing in the morning. And being a dude, he says, "Thank you, watch." So then
Mhm.
have another story. Their next news story is about vandalism in a car lot, and the car dealer says that somebody got their car repossessed, and so he broke in and started drove a pickaxe through a bunch of windshields. And that's the kind of story that Joel doesn't like to cover because he likes to make people feel safe on their way. But, news is news. So they do the news story and they know that a guy's going to get arrested and it's just going to be a bad snowball of losing his job, getting drunk, losing his temper, and now he's going to lose his freedom because he's going to at least get arrested for this vandalism. And that's a bummer. So on the way back to the station to file the story, boom, they get a Cinderella moment. Joel's watch tells him to make a left. He goes left, and they run into the girls selling the lemonade. So that's a rising moment, and that's going to be a fun story to write, a fun piece to write, because we get to have the cop saying, "Don't get me on camera. Don't make me the bad guy of this story." It's like
Mhm.
again, you really want to give your characters moments to be genuine people. If you just create characters that are genuine people, the story is just going to unfold. I mean, you're going to have to force it to unfold, but it's going to unfold. It's not going to be shrink wrapped in plot devices. It's going to have room to breathe because it's going to be character beats as opposed to. I'm going to write that down. That was pretty good. So
Yeah.
the Lemonade story is a big hit. It is an even bigger hit in that it gets on the national trail, and they want Troy and the little girls from the Lemonade story to come to New York City and introduce the story on their Good Morning America, whatever this network's Good Morning America is. Wake Up America, Wake Up USA. And
Mhm.
Joel knows that this is an audition for the big leagues for Troy. So he's a little bummed out about it because he knows that he's going to be losing another guy. He's having some weird anxieties about how to proceed with his relationship because he's never lived with a woman before. And he's feeling insecure because he knows that Troy's going to leave. And he's like, well, that means she's going to leave too, because that's how these things work. So, Joel goes out on a goofing around on a Saturday morning, ends up at a pawn shop. He's really happy that he finds a music stand, but as that is a nice heavy music stand. We've seen earlier in the flashback that he has a very flimsy music stand. So when he's approaching the counter to pay for the music stand, he sees that he's walking up on a robbery. He pulls out his phone and immediately just starts filming it as if this is a news story that all he has to do is cover it, not like it's actually his life. The robber turns and shoots at him. His watch, I'm going to say, his watch alarm goes off. The robber turns and he shoots the phone out of his hand. He shoots, Mr. Trick Shot. He misses Joel's body and he hits his phone. And then Joel realizes, point of no return. He's like, oh shit, this is actually happening to me. I'm not watching this through a lens. This is my life right now. And they're both kind of scared that this guy is just going to go ahead and shoot both of them because once he fires the gun, and the room smells like gunpowder. The the watch alarm goes off again, and the guy looks at his watch, and when he does, Joel whacks him upside the head with the music stand, and then Chandru joins in, and they beat the guy to the ground, and they call the cops. The cops come, and the guy was stealing the wedding rings, all the jewelry from the counter. So they were out on the counter. There's broken glass. Joel leaves after the cops, goes out to his car, and he's he's on a buzz because of all this adrenaline that happened, and he realized, oh, I forgot the music stand. He goes inside to ask if he can buy the music stand, and Chandra says, sure, sure, come on inside. And he sees the wedding rings on the counter, and his watch buzzes his wrist, and it says yes, and it gives him one final signal. And Joel asks, uh, if he can take a look at the engagement rings. And then the ending is going to be Joel and Lola getting married. We're going to write that in because depending on how much real estate we have by the time we get to the end of the third act, whether that'll be just a slideshow of wedding pictures over the credits, or if we'll have just at least the beginning of the wedding ceremony, or something like that. Just some symbolism that Joel proposed and Lola accepted, and that Joel is taking a chance on, instead of being afraid of having his heart broken and afraid of being abandoned, um, he's taking a chance and moving forward in his life with the woman who it's working for him. So
You
this
know,
is what,
you had talked about them having matching G-Shocks at the
yeah.
end. There's a sub brand of G-Shock called Baby G.
Oh, that's funny. So they're smaller. They're like a girl model.
Sequel.
So let's
The
animate.
Baby G.
Rising action, rising action. Here we go, here we go. Oh, it's more and more. Oh, the progress. Oh, it's sending him signals. Oh, what happened? Cinderella moment, lemonade story, top of the mountain. Lemonade story gets a bunch of attention. Point of no return. Robert shoots. Plan falls apart. Shooting of the phone. Resurrection opportunity. Joel returns to the shop. Satisfying ending. Joel and Lola get married in the ending. So I feel pretty happy about that. And I'm gonna turn this off. Well, I didn't mean to turn the whole thing off. Okay. You know what? I did mean to turn that off because I want to get to um, the screenplay. Now, you know what I need to do? I need to open my core questions. Nope, wait, my signposts. So, okay. How do I let me shrink this. I swear to God, by episode 5, we're gonna have this down to a science.
All science breaks down on the subatomic level.
All of it. Okay, final draft 13. Let's go to the title page. I tell you what, everybody, I hate when somebody posts a script on Reddit, and they just have the blank page on the front. It's like, come on, man. If you want me to read your script, you gotta make it look like you wanted to write it. So,
Hmm.
right? Like, does that make sense? Put
For
your
sure.
effort in. And don't talk bad about your writing. Once you've written something, respect it. You might you might say it needs improvement, but don't say, I want you to read my terrible script. It's like, why would I read your terrible script? Why don't you tell me to read your great script? I might, perk up an eyebrow for that. So our title, Totality.
You are still. Were you wanting to pull up Final Draft?
Yeah, is it not up?
Yeah, I'm still just seeing the heart chart.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah, if you click on share again, you can switch the window that you share.
okay. That makes sense. Why is this not getting
On your
pulled?
Zoom.
Oh, on my Zoom.
Yeah, like you go to share. Right now, you're sharing your web
Yeah.
browser.
Okay. There it is. Share. How's that?
We're there. Totality.
We are there. Is Homer on there? Do you see Homer?
I'm not seeing Homer. Scroll down.
Oh, well, I mean,
Written by, name of first writer.
okay. Written by Totality. Written by. Well, I don't need to be all caps. Based on. Right. And here. Well, look at that. Based on. I'm not going to put anything here right now because I don't need to put my address and phone number up on this screen. So,
Mhm.
so that's what a title page looks like, though. Everybody, very simple and clean. Written by.
Also, depending on what you're doing, you can change the font of like your title to something kind of more resembling like a logo or just, the personality of your film. But that's really the only place you want to add any of that artistic flourish.
That is the only place you want to put any kind of flair. And um, yeah, I agree. That's the only place. Don't jack with your settings. Don't think you can trick your way into getting more space or
Improve on the format.
yeah, don't even think about it. Oh, screen sharing has stopped as the shared window is closed. That was wrong. Let me try that
I've done
again.
that before.
There. There we go. Okay. So got the okay, so scene heading. Oh, I know what I needed. It's this guy. So in our opening scene, Joel and Troy in Fayetteville. So can you see the heart chart too? I'm not sharing my whole screen, am I? It's just sharing the
No,
one
but if you go back to
window.
share, your first set of options are entire window, your second set are application windows. So it'll give you a desktop one, desktop two, if you have multiple screen. I think you just have one screen, so you just want to share the desktop.
Okay.
There it is.
There it is. Yes. Yes. Kyle fixed it again. Okay, so we're gonna start with our scene heading is going to be okay. Joel Kittredge, 38, coiled and compact, lives in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Oh, no, not untitled screenplay. This is Totality. All right. Totality. I'm gonna probably have to make a new title page for this one. Oh, no, I didn't. No. Okay. Close title page. Okay.
There's one thing with the final draft. I wouldn't mind if you could see the title page with your script, and it wasn't a separate page.
I know, right? Like if it was page one, or at least,
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. I wish it just kind of, if you scrolled up far enough, you would get to the title page because it always looks just, I don't know, that there's just something about starting with a slug line, like that.
Hmm.
So let's get started on this. So um, this is what happens. Exterior. Nope. Exterior. I'm going to call it KARK. KARK Fayetteville News State or TV station. I don't know. I'm holding down. It's all caps. Night. Okay. Start with Joel. Because this is the first time we've introduced him, this is an action line now. As you'll see here, this is an action line. And this is where you say what's going on. And this is where you try to be brief, but we're setting the world right quick so we can go into a little bit of detail. So Joel Kittredge, who is, what did we say his age was? We put
38.
it 38. Okay. 38. 38 male. Talks to the camera equipment. Talks to the camera equipment that as he loads it into his news van. Okay. What is the deal with that? It is all in present tense. I know this is very basic, but you would be amazed. He's not carrying it to his van. You know, you can't you don't project what somebody's going to do. You have to say what they're actually doing, if that makes any sense. You don't say he's walking across the corner, he's walking across the room to grab his cigarettes. You say he grabbed his cigarettes, he walked to his cigarettes. So Joel Kittredge, 38 male, talks to his camera equipment as he loads it into his news van. Um, how about what does he say? How about is he inventorying? What kind of news equipment? What kind of equipment do you think he would have?
Batteries.
Okay. All right, that's good.
And you want your batteries to be charged.
Batteries charged.
So if he was going to say something, oh, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, batteries charged. We got muffs for the microphones.
Muffs for the mics. Mics have muffs.
Turbines to speed.
What was that?
Like Batman used to say, turbines to power
Oh,
or turbines to speed, something like that.
Hornet Sting, check.
Yeah.
Batteries charged, check. Muffs for the mics. Mics have muffs, check.
My buddy who shoots weddings, he actually has a dry erase board in his room with all his gear, and he like goes down the checklist before he leaves. Because, I mean, you don't want to not have a memory card or not have a battery. It's probably the biggest one. Lenses. Now he's going to shoot a single lens because it's news.
Yeah.
He ain't swapping primes on the fly.
What? Okay, mics have muffs. Let's say SIM cards.
Mm-hmm.
SIM card. External drive.
Hot shoe.
For
the lights,
Hot shoe.
I guess depending on the kind of camera, he'd probably have everything. So, shoulder mount.
Yeah.
tripods.
I think that'll do it though. That's enough for an
Yeah.
opening line. Yeah. Um, Joel checks his watch. Joel checks his watch. What time did it? I should probably call it the short story, is what I should probably do. As much as anything else. I don't want to do that right now. It was 4:58. Joel checks his watch. A solar powered satellite tracking. What do you call those? What do you call that when it's satellite feed?
Um, I think maybe just a satellite launch. Let me see.
How about satellite set? Digital
GPS enabled.
G-Shock.
Satellite wave GPS.
Satellite wave GPS.
Yep, that's what they call it.
Okay. So 4:56. 4:56 a.m. Headlights sweep across Joel and the van as a Subaru. How about as a zippy sedan pulls into the parking lot? The car parks next to Joel. Out hops Troy West, 28. The handsome segment reporter. No. How about, okay. Okay. A handsome segment reporter.
That's a dating profile line if I've ever heard one.
He holds a flat box of donuts and a sizable, how about how about just a 32 ounce and a 32 ounce insulated mug. Insulated mug with the KARK logo on it. His face, Troy's own face, is on the side of the van. I don't want to. Here's something you don't want to do. You don't want to have any word orphans. You want to end. I know this is going to sound silly and ADD and anal retentive, however you want to put it, but you want to end in blocks. A half a sentence, that's okay, but you don't ever want to go like just one or two words hanging over the end. Like it just looks like you could have worded that, you could have written that better. That's the big thing is you want it to look like you're very conscientiously crafted the way the words fit on the page. And you like the reason you break up headlights sweep across Joel and the van is a zippy and Joel and the van as a zippy sedan pulls into the parking lot. That is a shot, right? Like that's movement and that's a whole thing. And then the car parks next to Joel. That's going to be another camera setup. You're not going to just follow the car all the way to parking next to Joel. And then out hops Troy West. That's going to be another camera setup. Because if you ever noticed that you never see the person, very rarely do you see the actor actually drive the car into the parking lot and then get out. It's like you'll see the car pull in and then you'll see them. You don't see them. It'll cut. It always cuts. They're not the one that actually drove the car there. So you might as well just work it into the timing of the scene. And that's the big deal.
Except in River's Edge, Keanu Reeves pulls up on the motorcycle with River Phoenix on the back.
Well, and Tom Cruise in anything, like
Yeah,
he's definitely
motorcycle the
motorcycle.
exception there.
Yeah, it kind of flips me out how much they let him do, like, what's the insurance on that? So,
Well, he's got his own company now. I wouldn't be surprised if the two things are related.
look at that. My thing, I didn't have to say it. Where else would the insulated mug have the KARK logo? Do you think KARK should be maybe broke KARK? Maybe break that up so that it doesn't just look like Kark.
Mm. There you go.
Does that look better?
KR.
I think it makes a little more sense. Troy's own face is on the van. Is on the van. What do you wrap?
Yep. Shout out vanwraps.com.
Let's get him to invest. That's
I know the guys.
This is something funny about a TV show. People will write into whatever Reddit, or people will talk about writing a TV show. The thing about writing a TV show is that nobody can make a TV show is always going to be made by a TV station. You can't make your own pilot for a TV show. Like nobody's going to go, "Oh yeah, great. Yeah, we'll buy your pilot." That's just not how it works. TV is its own industry. Unlike, making a short film. But that doesn't mean don't write them. Just don't write them thinking that you're going to be the one who gets to direct it and make it as an indie. There's no such thing as indie television, except for access television, but that's that's a different
Or
squirrel.
web series.
Or a web series. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. If you want to make something for the web, and then what happens there is you don't have to follow any particular timing. That's a really good point, Kyle. I don't
Well,
really
and
think about it,
the
even though I'm
real
doing
world
the web
example of
series.
that is Rick and Morty started as not just the Rick and Morty web series, but those guys did a bunch of web cartoons that got popularity and then were able to parlay that. But again, they weren't putting their web shoot like cartoons on Adult Swim. They got a whole production crew and now it's Rick and Morty. But yeah, House
How
of
big of a
Cosby's.
series was it? How many of them did they make?
Well, like I said, they did a bunch of different ones. My favorite was the House of Cosby's, which I think really took the shit out of Bill Cosby before we knew all the terrible Bill Cosby stuff.
Right.
Um, which you hear those stories that people in the industry knew, just the public didn't know. Well, this is definitely proof of that. Or they just got really lucky with we're going to make fun of this guy. But yeah, no, I think the Doc and Marty shorts, I think, yeah, only a few of them. And
So,
obviously they had to change the name. Just can't use Doc and Marty.
but that guy was already somebody, right? Like the guy who created it.
So, um, yes, and the oh, good question. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I know one of the creators, Dan Harmon, he did Community and he's done other stuff. Uh, but yeah, I don't know how that lines up with like when they were doing the little skits in their apartment and things like that. I
But
think
didn't he
Rick
do
and Morty,
Community? Like, didn't he? Didn't I mean?
yeah, I think Rick and Morty and Community are came out at similar times. Actually, I got an IMDb. You keep writing. I'll research. I'll fact check. All right. Nope. Community was first, 2009, and
Yeah.
then Rick and Morty was 2013.
So he had a
So
career already. He wasn't just
then
an
the
guy.
well, but let's see when Doc and Marty, the short, came out. Because I feel like the from the look of it, 2016. Okay, so it would have probably come out a year before he got Community. Let's see. Community may not have been his first thing though. Probably not. Oh, he was born in Milwaukee.
Look at that. I got it down to 2 lines. I have a comma in here, and I hate commas. Um, I'm not late, am I, boss? I told you, talent. You're never late when you bring the donuts. So that's okay because it's got a little preparatory phase there. But quite often, when I'll read something and they're like, how can I tighten this up? Quite often, if you just go through and look at your sentences that have commas in them and take out the comma and either make it one shorter sentence or two shorter, punchier sentences, you're going to get shorter because it just forces you to think differently as you write, if that makes any sense. Just try to not use a comma unless it's an absolute necessary. And like this is a prepositional phrase, right? Like, and it's an excuse to hear Troy calls him boss and Joel calls him talent. Like, you're going to be out of here so quick. I don't even have to learn your name. What can what can he say? Joel's hands, Joel on local news for Joel Eclipse. Okay. How about he says what time the what time is the oh, I need to have this story out. Okay, I'm going to open this story.
Do it.
Excuse me, everybody. But first, I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah, and the ease.
Screenplay. I haven't written a script. Totality. Here we go. Okay. 458. I was pretty close on that. Okay. Okay. So, plan was to drive to the Katy Depot in Sedalia, Missouri to cover the eclipse of the sun. Okay. Check his watch again, 5:01. Good shoes, watch the timer, going to be the year. Don't have to get into all that. Troy pulled into the parking lot, News 37. We could put that KARK 37. Ah, that's all right. We're just complicating it now. Not later. I'm like,
Mm,
now if those donuts are not, Joel Flick. Okay, I didn't have him smoking. Nobody wants to put that out. Step on it, talent. We're burning daylight. All right. I think that's enough. Let's see. Or how about Troy says, well, then step on it because we're burning daylight. How he flips he does a little ball busting.
there you
Well,
go.
what time does he have to be there? Okay. What did I should probably, I had a little bit of been a little distracted, everybody. Things are gonna get better. 12:45. Okay. Got to get there by, okay. Okay. So Troy says this shindig starts at 12:45. How about according to the astronomers? According to the astronomers, I'm gonna
I'm
not
gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Be right back.
okay. Not late, huh, my boss? I told you. Okay. So Joel checks his watch. A solar-powered satellite wave GPS digital G-Shock. Rugged. 4:56 a.m. Headlights sweep across Joel and the van as a zippy sedan pulls into the parking lot. The car parks next to Joel. Out hops Troy West, 28 male, a handsome segment reporter. He holds a flat box of donuts and a 32-ounce KARK insulated mug and his Channel 37 KARK blazer on a wooden hanger. Troy's own face is on the side of the van. Troy's own smiling face. Troy's own smiling face is on the side of the van. Now that's a gerund. That's or an adverb that ing. Try not to use a lot of ing words except for sing, because They just feel lazy. They feel like you're padding your sentence with the adjectives instead of presenting what's actually there. You'll really get the hang of that. And my English grammar knowledge is not so intricate as to tell you exactly what the difference between a gerund and an adverb are. But if it's got an ing, double think it before you stick it on there because you're just complicating your sentence without giving it much substance. Troy, I'm not late, am I, boss? I told you, talent. You're never late when you bring the donuts. According to the astronomers, this shindig starts at 12:45. Pack it up, boss. We're burning daylight. Troy opens the passenger door and steps into his seat. He on a hook. He pops the donut box open. Nice. Joel slides the side door shut. Climbs in. So this is going to be a new setting. This is interior, exterior. Scene heading. So go up there. You just saw me make a mistake. Not really a mistake. It's just been a while since I've written a screenplay page. When you finish, okay, so this is a half a page. This is roughly 30 seconds of screen time. Um, let's start at the top. We're going to be doing this a lot. Oh, look at that. See, there's a spell check error there. Exterior, KARK, Fayetteville TV station parking lot. Night. Joel Kittredge, 38, male. Talks to the camera equipment as he loads it into his news van. Batteries checked. Batteries charged. Check. Muffs for the mic. Check. Mics have muffs. SIM card. External drive. Hot shoe. Check, check, check. Joel checks his watch. A solar-powered satellite wave GPS digital G-Shock. Rugged. 4:56 a.m. Headlights sweep across Joel and the van as a zippy sedan pulls into the parking lot. The car parks next to Joel. Out hops Troy West, 28 male, a handsome segment reporter. He holds a flat box of donuts and a 32-ounce KARK insulated mug and his channel 37 KARK blazer on a wooden hanger. Troy's own smiling face is on the side of the van. You know what? Let me drop out that and. I am going to put some commas when they're listing stuff in an action line. Lidded mug and okay. And his channel 37 KARK blazer on a wooden hanger. Okay, that sounds better. Out hops Troy West, 28 male, a handsome segment reporter. He holds a flat box of donuts, a 32-ounce KARK insulated mug, and his channel 37 KARK blazer on a wooden hanger. So you're wondering who these guys work for? They work for channel 37 in Arkansas. It's Fayetteville, Arkansas. Troy's own smiling face is on the side of the van. I'm not late. Troy's own is blown. How about it is blown up on the side of the van? Is blown up on the side of the van. Troy's own smiling face is blown up on the side of the van. Troy, I'm not late, am I, boss? I told you, Talent, you're never late when you bring the donuts. According to the astronomers, how about the astronomers say the how about the astro engineers? Astro engineers said this shindig starts at 12:45. Pack it up, boss. We're burning daylight. Troy opens the passenger door and steps into his seat. He hangs a jacket on a hook. He pops the donut box open. Joel slides the side door shut and climbs behind the wheel. Interior. Okay, so we're back in the scene here. Heading interior, exterior. The he starts the van. Grabs it. Grabs a donut. So this is just one more quick setup. This is going to be a camera setup because this is interior exterior, the van in the parking lot continuous. That means that we're going straight from where we were before. This is just an instant. We're not no time is trying to make sure that the people who are shooting this understand that this is not a later on scene. So interior, exterior, the van in the parking lot, continuous. The cab light shuts off as Joel shuts the door. Uh, he starts the van. He takes a sip of coffee. He grabs a donut, bites it. How about he takes his own coffee? How about, yeah, he takes his own. He, yeah, he has his own. No, I don't know what he has. He Every verb is so important. You really want to try and make as much of a punch out of as few words as possible. He takes his own Kakark mug. How about he sips from his own Kark mug. He grabs a donut. Burning daylight. Yeah, well, let's take that off of there. And then burning daylight. Listen to you. Joel takes a Joel puts the donut in his mouth and punches it. Joel puts the donut in his mouth and steps on the and steps on the gas. Okay, now that's going to get us out of that parking lot. So we're out of the parking lot in less than a page. All right. So now would be a good time in the van. Okay, it's daylight now. Interior van. Interior news. Yeah, the van. Day. Interior van day. Um, the two down. True cruise on a state highway. The two cruise on a state highway. In morning traffic. So, what's he going to say here? See, now it's time for them to explain where they're going. How about Joel says, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited that we're covering the eclipse. I've seen a lot of partial eclipses, and I've never seen a full eclipse. And Troy is like, oh, like he's young. It doesn't matter to him. It's not a big deal. Like, oh, whatever. There'll be another one, you know.
Yeah.
Joel. Gotta tell you. Gotta tell you, Taylor. I don't want any comma sentences. I'm pretty, yeah. Over a total eclipse. I'm pretty excited to cover this. How about to cover this total eclipse? I have seen a handful of partial eclipses, but never a totality. Solar or lunar. So that's 4 lines. That's okay. I'm pretty excited to cover this total eclipse. I've seen a handful of partial eclipses, but never a totality, solar or lunar. Like Joel's excited and he's kind of rambling. You really, unless it's going to be a soliloquy, unless it's to be or not to be, or some uh, Quentin Tarantino giving somebody a goddamn great speech. 4 lines. The deal is hold your finger out over the page, and if the words are longer or deeper than your finger, then you need to edit it because it's just too long. It might sound good, what happens? It looks like a play. It looks like a play script and not like a screenplay. So, solar or lunar. Troy, how's Troy going to respond to that? What's Troy's aloof response going to be there, Kyle? I mean, how about he's like, yeah, sure, I guess. Just something like, you know, uh, this is a big
Sick
story.
expectation, bro.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess. How about like that? Yeah, I guess. I guess. I guess I am too. I guess I am too.
He could go. Well, you can see it right here on my phone, and he's got a video of one pulled up.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. See the You can see the last one on my phone. It's gonna look the same. Troy holds his. Actually, it's a great That's really great because then we already get a little tease, you know, uh, uh, a little tease of what the eclipse will look like, and then Joel's like, "Get that out of my face! I'm driving." And we're on page two. We're 1 minute in, and we're learning what's going on. Troy holds the screen. Shows eclipse. What do you call the corona? Shows a solar eclipse in full corona. Shows a solar eclipse. The black circle of the black circle, the blocked sun, the black circle of the sun, a black circle with a glowing corona. Thing is, I don't want to use all these words again because these are gonna, okay. Eclipse. Sun, a black circle with a glowing corona. How about Joel says spoilers?
I like
Yo,
that.
dude, like, yo, dude, spoilers. Yo, dude, spoilers. That's enough of that, right? Like that sets it up. One guy's kind of whatever. Joel's excited, and he just kind of counters his Joel counters his lack of enthusiasm with a smart ass response. Yo, dude. Not you, dude. Yo, dude. Spoilers.
Mhm.
And this is first draft, by the way.
Yeah.
This is yeah. So
I
exterior,
mean, this is a bad idea, but he wouldn't say like, I can see your mom's tits on my phone, but it's not as good as the real thing.
right? It's like, in fact, you want to like,
I saw a video of this guy. He goes, took my grandma on her first water slide, and she was freaking out. But the guy's grandma is like abnormally hot, like super attractive. And this comment section just tore into him. Like, what's her only grams? Let me get her landline, like can your grandpa fight?
so one of the things that I'm always a little sketchy about is I like to end on just a line, but my guru, JV Hart, was like, you need to end on a reaction of a line because you just kind of need to let the line sit there for a second instead of jumping into a scene change. So
Mhm.
I'm going to say Joel, waves waves the camera out of his way and grabs another donut.
Oh, like he's reaching for the camera, but he's really reaching for a donut.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joel, yeah, Joel, yeah. Joel waves the phone away and reaches for a fresh donut. Exterior Katy Depot. Is that? I'm having, I'm kind of forgetting how to write a screenplay. Hold on. Yeah, okay, dash. So that's it. You really do kind of, okay, man, day, night, okay, dash, okay. Suddenly I was going, wait, do I put a period or do I put a dash? Day. Oh.
I think if you tab, it'll do it automatically.
Yeah, but I also still like to know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Take those training wheels off.
The Katy Depot is in Sedalia, Arizona. Not Arizona, Missouri. It just sounds like a place in Arizona. In Sedalia, Missouri. The wide space is filled with people of all ages in many separated groups. Parking lot is surrounded by school buses and RVs. A drum circle, a hippie drum circle. How about? Nah, that's okay. Okay. A hippie drum circle beats a steady thrum under the occasion. Interior news van, interior van, day, Troy. Looks like the word got out. Joel. Look at all. Yeah. This is going to be a great story. This is going to make for a great story. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. All right. Always. Okay. Interior van day. The two crews on a state highway in morning traffic. Joel, I'm pretty excited to cover this total eclipse. I've seen a handful of partial eclipses, but never a totality, solar or lunar. You can see the last one on my phone. It's going to look the same. Troy holds his phone up at Joel. The screen shows a solar eclipse. The sun is a black circle with a glowing corona. Joel, yo, dude, spoilers. That's such a
Mm.
dumb line. That's so dumb. Oh, you ruined it. How about if he says, "Oh, now you ruined it. Oh, now you
Or it
ruined
could be, no, that's your mom's asshole. That's sorry. That's bad. I was like, I got more bad ideas.
it." Yeah, he's the older one though.
Mhm.
Joel's the older one.
I don't know. I kind of like shit like that to younger people. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I
no,
could
don't
see
do the asshole thing was not funny. But I do, he's reaching for a donut and it's something round, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there that, wrong hole.
How about instead of yo, dude, yo, now you ruined it. Well, now you ruined it. Now I know what it's gonna look like. That's your mom. How about if he just says that's not an eclipse, that's your mom. And he just leaves it at that. Like, what?
Okay, that is kind of funny. No, it's your mom. What?
Eclipse.
Like just something really
Oh,
confusing.
that's your mom. Oh, it's not an eclipse. Dang it. It's not an eclipse. Nope. That's your mom, dude. What?
Oh, you know what? So the kid is implying, a lack of appreciation for this. What if it was something like, be careful, you'll go blind looking at that.
Oh. Oh,
You
that's really
know,
good. Yeah.
like he's bullshitting them, but like the guy's so daft, he's like, oh no, and then he really stops.
That's a good,
You'll
yeah.
fuck your eyes up looking at that.
Don't look at that. You'll go blind.
Or, yeah, something like that.
Don't look at that. You'll go blind. Yeah, that's much better. But I do like some mom stuff.
Yeah.
You'll go, ah.
You gotta start with it. That's how you get there. Okay, add to the first sentence, don't look at that without eye protection. Unless you
Don't,
want to keep it on one line. But if you want to get rid of that widow, you could say, don't look at that without your glasses or without protection.
yeah, I like saying you'll go blind. 'Cause that's such an older person. Don't do that.
You'll
You'll
go
go
blind
blind.
looking at that.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Good. You'll go blind. Look. How about you'll go blind if you look at that?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Got your ass.
Damn it, Barb's House of Scripts. Don't go blind. How about just don't go blind?
Oh, there you go. Nailed it.
How about yo, don't go blind? Yo, you'll go blind. Don't go blind. Don't do something. Don't go. Yo, you're gonna go blind. Let's see that. Yo, you're gonna go blind. Just take the yo out. You're gonna go blind. What? I like that. I like that. That's better than spoilers. That's good. Because that's ball busting on a pretty basic. The two cruising
Hmm.
the state highway in morning traffic. I'm pretty excited to cover this total eclipse. I've seen a handful of partial eclipses, but never a totality, solar or lunar. I'm going to take this comma out because it's not necessary. Troy, you can see the last one on my phone. It's going to look the same. Troy holds his phone up at Joel. The screen shows a solar eclipse. The sun is a black circle with a glowing corona. Joel, you're going to go blind. Joel waves the phone away and reaches for a fresh donut. That's a good little. So that's, 5 seconds of driving time. Joel waves the phone away and reaches for a fresh donut. Exterior Katy Depot day. The Katy Depot is in Sedalia, Missouri. The wide space is filled with people of all ages and in many separate groups. The parking lot is surrounded by school buses and RVs. A hippie drum circle beats a steady thrum under the occasion. Interior van day. Looks like the word got out. This is going to make for a great story. Look at all these people. Okay. Exterior. Joel parks the van in a row with other news vans. How about he checks his watch? So we get another close on the watch. Did I capitalize watch? Yes. Uh, I figured out that time before, like the distance. I love flying and I love. What was that?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay. Joel parks the van in the row with the other news vans. So let me let me just do one thing real quick that I should have done before. Um, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville, Arkansas. To come on now. That's not what I want to do. Fayetteville. So I want to kind of get an estimate on what time they got there. To Sedalia, Missouri. $4 and 4 minutes. So if they got out on the, so it's 9. Okay, let's say it's 9:30. Joel checks his watch. $9:35. Joel checks his watch. 9:35. That's a shot. Now, you know what? Let's call that a shot. Let's Joel. So up here in the, we can make this a shot. Watch face reads 9:35. Now let's put that up here too. I kind of forgot about that. Rugged. Shot. Watch face. Reads 935. Okay. Um, Troy. Troy. I'm going to walk around a little bit. I'm going to walk around a little bit. And then Joel says, yeah, get out of my hair. Yeah, go be pretty and get out of my hair. Yeah, go be pretty. Get out of my hair. Yeah. Go be pretty and get out of my hair. Damn it. Go. How about he actually tell like, yeah, go look for people. Like he tells him what to look for. Go talk to those hippie girls over there.
Hmm.
Go butter up those hippie girls over there for a good so we can get some good footage. Those. Go go butter up those hippie girls over there. Go butter up those hippie girls over there. For some good pull quotes. How about for some good pulls? What would you say if you go, go butter up those hippie girls over there so we can and I bet they'll be poetic. Something. Pick somebody who looks how about go pick one that looks like a poet. Find one that find one that looks like she knows poetry. And then when we get to the news story, we can have a hippie girl give some kind of poem about solar eclipses. Go butter, oh yeah, that's good. That's an angle, Troy. That's an
Hmm.
angle. Good angle. Good angle. Good angle, boss. Good angle, boss. Yeah. What Troy's putting on his blazer. That's good. That's a little bit of action. Go better up those hippie girls over there. Find one that looks like she knows poetry. Find one that find one that looks like a poet. Find me a poet. How about that? Find me a poet.
Mhm.
Oh, that's better. Go butter up those hippie girls over there. Find me a poet. Good angle, boss. Troy walks into the crowd. Okay. Um, okay. No. Identical. What am I trying to say here? Other news teams jockey for their positions. A tripod for a second camera. So Jill sets up a second camera tripod. Mm, about so I'm gonna stay. This may not be correct, but I'm gonna put it anyway. Katie, parking lot later. Crowd is fuller. Um, bubble. Soap bubbles float. Soap bubbles float. Float overhead. Um, what do you call those ribbon dancers? Ribbon.
Oh, color guard.
What are they?
Color guard is what
I'm thinking of the ones where, yeah, where it's just like the
let's see if
ribbon,
there's a name for it.
ribbons on sticks.
Uh ribbon dance. What are ribbon dancers called? Aerialists, rhythmic gymnasts,
No, just think
uh
of the stick.
aerial silk artists.
Oh, that's too hardcore. That's circus shit.
Yeah,
Ribbons are waved on
ribbon
sticks.
dancer, maypole dancer.
That's a big thing too. I just think when you wave, how about ribbon waving sticks?
Flying a kite without the kite.
Sport time, rainbow. What do they call this? Ribbon wands. Ribbon wands. Ribbon wands are waved. It's called a ribbon wand. Colorful, multicolored.
I want one of those.
I never would have known that it was called a ribbon wand. How about little girls? Multicolored ribbon wands. An older professor type. Is shows his high caliber telescope. To Troy. How about a high grade? That shows his big. An older professor type shows his big telescope to Troy. Shout. Joel is ready. How about just Joel is ready? Camera on his shoulder. Okay. Joel is ready. Camera on his shoulder. How about Troy? Okay. Let's take that out because now Troy is getting into position. How about just shows off? He aims at Troy. He aims at Troy. Sibilance. 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 Right, check 2. Mic check 3. How we sounding? How we sounding, cameraman? How we sounding, cameraman? How we sounding? How we sounding, cameraman? How we sounding? How we sounding, cameraman? How we sounding? Charlie. Okay, Joel. So, should I say him to Troy through Joy? I mean, he's got a collar mic, right? That's going to be a lapel mic, probably.
Mhm.
No, he's got a microphone.
Oh
He's,
yeah, he's got a.
yeah, into a mic, into handheld mic. Into handheld mic. Into headset. Leave me Charlie, talent. Leave me Charlie. Leave me talent, Charlie. Leave me Charlie. Leave me Charlie, talent. Leave me Charlie. Looking good. You look good. You look good here. You look really good. Yeah. You look really good in this light, Troy. You look good in any light.
Mhm. I like that.
So does your mom. Joel says, so does your mom. Does your mom. From a voice. A voice shouts over the din of the crowd. Twelve 45, right? Started exactly 12:45. Joel looks at his watch. Big five. Ooh. Crowd quiets down. Um, Plastic. Let's see. Okay. The field of faces looks up in the brightness through their paper contraptions and we look at the mask. So I kind of, yeah. Crowd. But the crowd goes quiet. Viewing contraptions. Welding hoods are donned. Hands are held. Couples hold hands. Well, how about welding hoods go up? Welding hoods go on. Couples hold hand. Kids are raised. Yes. God. Intercut. How about we say intercut shot? Okay. Intercut between the phases of the eclipse and the faces of the crowd members. Crowd members is 2 words. The phases of the eclipse and the faces of the crowd members. The view through dark amber glass. Well, how about our view through the dark glass? The eclipse. Okay. The moon is a small bite out of the bright the light grows. Soon the sun is by the moon, just like the picture on the phone. The corona glows hot. Joel. Okay, so what time was it completely covered? 1:17. Okay. Joel presses. Okay, without looking. Joel presses the stopwatch function. How about the timer? The timer function. Okay. This is a shot. And this is going to be it, right? Okay.
3 pages.
This is 4.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Watch face reads 151. And then the sky goes dark. The cicadas go quiet. The crowd is in awe. Joel takes a welding glass lens from his shirt pocket to stare at the eclipse. Well done. He peeks with bare eyes a few seconds at a time. Watch face goes black. Watch face goes black. The sun or the moon slides off the sun. The false night the false night gives way to afternoon light. The crowd erupts into applause. Noisemakers, and party horns sound like New Year's Eve. Strangers hug each other. Oh, I guess I should have had fade from, you know what? So let's go. So does your mom. Voice shouts over the dead in the crowd. Okay. Troy, and then we dissolve from that. All right. What would be, okay, Troy. Now, Troy says we're in Sedalia, Arizona, or we're in Sedalia, Missouri. Good evening. How about he starts? How about hello, Fayetteville? And I'm in Missouri. And I'm in Sedalia, Missouri. How about I'm Troy West, and Joel and I got up early this morning to bring you coverage of the totality from Sedalia, Missouri, and then um, dissolve later. And my director Joel and I extra early to bring you of today's totality. But I will just leave that. How about, yeah. How about, hello, Fayetteville. How about just Joel and I? How about if he leaves the, we know he's Troy West. He'll save that for the end. Bring you coverage of today's too. Yeah, that's enough of that. That's 2 times of reference in the day. Hello, Fayetteville. Good afternoon, Fayetteville. Hello, Fayetteville. Talking to you from, well, I'm talking to you from Sedalia, Missouri. So that we can bring you I'm talking to you from Sedalia, Missouri, so that we can bring the solar eclipse totality to you. Doop, doop, doop. How about he gets cut off? It's starting. Joel looks at his watch. Watch face reads 12:45. The crowd goes quiet. Viewing contraptions are raised. Well, Troy goes quiet. No, I don't have to say he's not doing something. The crowd goes quiet. Viewing contraptions are raised. Welding hoods go on. Oh, welding hoods go on. Couples hold hands. Kids are lifted. Intercut between the faces of the eclipse and the faces of the crowd members and the faces of the crowd. Faces in the crowd. Intercut between the phase eclipse, the faces and the crowd I'm going to leave that as that. But yeah, that's a little bit of a word orphan, but I'll get that on editing. The eclipse is seen through dark glass. The moon is a small bite out of a bright white circle. The bite grows. Soon the sun is completely covered by the moon. The corona glows hot. Without looking, Joel presses the timer function of his watch. Watch face reads 1:51. The sky grows dark. The cicadas go quiet. The crowd is in awe. Joel takes a welding glass lens from his shirt pocket to stare at the eclipse. He peeks at with bare eyes a few seconds at a time. How about he peeks a few seconds at a time? How about he peeks uh, yeah, I like that better. So what's funny, Kyle, when I first started writing and learning all these different things, my wife's a programmer, and when I would talk to her about it, she's like, it's just like writing code, like writing lines of a screenplay are just like writing code. Strangers hug each other. Let's say that's the end of that. That's 4.5 pages. And that was the goal. So let's go through this right quick, okay?
Mhm.
Exterior, KARK, Fayetteville TV station parking lot. Night. Joel Kittredge, 38 male, talks to the camera equipment as he loads it into his news van. Batteries charged. Check. Muffs for the mics. Check. Mics have muffs. SIM cards. External drive. Hot shoe. Check, check, check. Joel checks his watch. A solar powered satellite wave GPS digital G-Shock. Rugged. Watch face reads 4:56 a.m. Headlights sweep across Joel and the van as a zippy sedan pulls into the parking lot. The car parks next to Joel. Out hops Troy West, 28 male, a handsome segment reporter. He holds a flat box of donuts, a 32-ounce KARK insulated mug, and his Channel 37 KARK blazer on a wooden hanger. Troy's own smiling face is blown up on the side of the van. I'm not late, am I, boss? I told you, talent, you're never late when you bring the donuts. The Astro engineer said this shindig starts at 12:45. Pack it up, boss. We're burning daylight. Troy opens the passenger door and steps into his seat. He hangs the jacket on a hook. He pops the donut box open. Joel slides into the side door. Joel slides the side door shut and climbs behind the wheel. Interior, exterior, the van in the parking lot continuous. The continuous. Now that means this is immediately after. There's no time has lapsed. We're just changing the angle that we're looking at them. The cab light shuts off as Joel shuts his door. He starts the van. He sips from his own KARK mug. He grabs a donut. Burning daylight. Listen to you. Joel puts the donut in his mouth and steps on the gas. Interior van, day. The two cruise on a state highway in morning traffic. I'm pretty excited to cover this total eclipse. I've seen a handful of partial eclipses, but how about I've seen a couple of partials? But never a totality, solar or lunar. You can see the last one on my phone. It's going to look the same. How about you can watch the last one? How about, yeah. Troy holds his phone up at Joel. The screen shows a solar eclipse. The sun is a black circle with a glowing corona. You're going to go blind. Joel waves the phone away and reaches for a fresh donut. Exterior, Katy Depot, day. The Katy Depot is in Sedalia, Missouri. The wide space is filled with people of all ages and many separate groups. The parking lot is surrounded by school buses and RVs. A hippie drum circle beats a steady thrum under the occasion. Interior, van, day. Looks like the word got out. This is going to make for a great story. Look at all these people. Exterior, Katy Depot, parking lot. Exterior. Okay. Joel parks the van in a row with other news vans. Joel checks his watch. Watch face reads 9:35. I'm going to walk around a little bit while you set up. Troy slips into his blazer, checks his teeth in the mirror. Go butter up those hippie girls over there. Find me a poet. Good angle, boss. Troy walks into the crowd. Other news teams jockey for their positions. Joel sets up a second camera on a tripod. Katy parking lot, later. The crowd is fuller. So, see, I didn't have to say exterior Katy parking lot because it's the same place. It's just we've done a dissolve or something to show that time has passed. The crowd is fuller. Soap bubbles float overhead. Little girls wave multicolored ribbon wands. An older professor type shows off his big telescope. Joel is ready, camera on his shoulder. He aims at Troy. Into handheld mic. Sibilance, mic check 2, mic check 3. How we sounding, cameraman? How we sounding? Into headset. Lima Charlie, talent. Lima Charlie, you look really good in this light. I look good in any light. So does your mom. Hello, Fayetteville. I'm talking to you from Sedalia, Missouri, so that we can bring you the solar eclipse so that we can bring the solar eclipse totality to you. A voice shouts over the din of the crowd. It's starting! Joel looks at his watch. Watch face reads 12:45. The crowd goes quiet. Viewing contraptions are raised. Welding hoods go on. Couples hold hands. Kids are lifted. Intercut between the faces of the eclipse and the faces in the crowd. The faces in the crowd. The eclipse is seen through dark glass. The moon is a small bite out of the bright white circle. The bite grows. Soon the sun is completely covered by the moon. The corona glows hot. Without looking, Joel presses the timer function on his watch. Watch face reads 1:51. The sky grows dark. The cicadas go quiet. The crowd is in awe. Joel takes a welding glass lens from his shirt pocket to stare at the eclipse. He peeks a few seconds at a time with bare eyes. Watch face goes black. The moon slides off the circle of the sun. The false night gives way to a favorite to afternoon light. The crowd erupts into applause. Noisemakers and party horns sound like New Year's Eve. Strangers hug each other. All right. So then the next cut so the next scene, which we'll do next week. Look at that. We wrapped it up at 11:30. The next week we will cut to Joel editing the story in the back and discovering that his watch has gone dark. So that's what it's like to write 4 pages. How long did that take? I mean, once we got rolling, it took about an hour, right? A little over an hour to get this much done. I mean, makes sense to me, right? That's what it feels like. But it also feels like 5 minutes once you actually start writing.
Mhm.
So, what do you think, Kyle? You got any changes in there you want to see? Am I bulldozing?
No, looks good.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. What I like about it. I like that what I feel like we pulled off. We pulled off their chemistry, right? Joel's a little younger, or Joel's a little older. Troy's a little cocky. Joel gives him so does your mom as a little bit of a jab. Um, we get that Joel's a little bit of a tech geek, that he started his watch and he talks to his equipment. I think that's real key, that he talks to his equipment. Mostly because I talk to myself all the time and I just pretend I'm talking to inanimate objects, but it's really just another voice in my head. So, um, anything you want to add?
No, I think that's a good place to wrap it up for tonight.
I think so too. So that's, almost four full pages. We will, something I want to say, and I know we go for the 1 page per minute. Early drafts, I don't, as much as I do consciously edit in place, I don't worry if I go too far, if I go too long, because it's part of that conjuring of the block of marble. You have to have more marble than you do statue. So you might as well make it a big block of marble so that you can chip away at it. So, all right, let me hit file, save as, totality. Tag. Writing is dangerous. Save. Replace. And when I shut that, I'm going to stop share, and then it's us. And thanks for your patience, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you got something out of that. By next week, should have the website up, should have an email available for you, and should have these pages and the story posted on the website, which is going to be writingisdangerous.com. Yeah, so thanks. We finally made it to pages. And I don't feel like we face planted the whole time, which could have happened. I feel like we actually got some roll in there. But you did see that you do kind of get that, deer in the headlights feel, like you're processing a sentence, something is going to happen, something's about to click, but it's hard to find it. It's hard to reach and grab it. They're ghost words. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate your being with us. Thank you, Kyle. You are an excellent co-host and co-writer, and I am grateful for your time. And I'm going to sign off, everybody.